My name's Christine, also known as Strumpet, Strumpet 101, because that's the number that was available to me when I finally settled on it. I'm 41, 1970 child, yes. I hate people driving slowly in front of me. I hate phony questions at the supermarket by the checkout person, especially if it slows them down and I'm in a hurry. Dirty socks all over the house. Didn't I do a top 10 list for meta talks for about this ones? I don't know if I can remember them all. I think that might be it. I don't know if I can think of any. I must be in a good mood today. I can't think of any other pet peeves. People not using a turning lane, like stopping and not using the turning lane, that annoys me. Independent. Intelligent. Fun? I don't know. Okay. Do I have a family? Yes, I do. I have a husband and I have two teenage boys. One is 13 and one is 15. Yeah. I've been married 16 years and 2 weeks. I got married in Bergen in Norway. My husband is from New Zealand, and we got married in the oldest church, or oldest building actually, in Bergen, Norway. It's from the 1100s, Mariakirken, St. Mary's Church. Do I have any pets? Yes, I do. I have 3 pets. I have Buzz, the golden retriever. He's going to be 8 here any day. I have Toulouse, who is 5. I think he's 5. Isn't he 5? Maybe he just turned 6. I think I have to look that up again. I always forget like what year exactly I got Toulouse. It's like in the middle of Australia sort of thing. And I have Lucius, who just turned 1. Both Toulouse and Lucius are ragdoll cats. Ragdoll's a breed. Okay. Have a glass of wine. I like to have a nice bath. Hot, lovely, nice, long, hot bath to de-stress. And a glass of wine. And I like to game to de-stress. Not with other people though to de-stress. I have to do it like solo play to de-stress. The Adventures of Strumpet. Strumpet's many adventures, Strumpet's many lives. I think, because I feel like I've had so many lives already. Like when I look back at periods of my life, I feel there have been so many of them already that I think it feels like several different lives in a way. So I think maybe Strumpet's many lives. I think my style is very classic, like Scandinavian classic, clean lines, clean colors, not too flashy, but I have a dash of hippie and rock chick still in me from one of those previous lives. So I think it's a classic that's very colored, with occasional dashes of hippiness, or I guess that's called boho, or rocker chickness still, I think. I started out at the University of Wyoming studying business administration. And after a year or two, quickly decided that really wasn't for me. So what I did was I switched to an English major. And then when I transferred to the University of Bergen in Norway, because I left Wyoming, and went back to Norway. I studied English still, and I finished my bachelor's in English and linguistics, because you don't just do one subject, you sort of have to have a secondary subject. So English and linguistics, and English that encompasses both like English grammar stuff as well as literature, and American and English literature. And then my master's, I studied women's contemporary history and Old English, meaning like Beowulf old, like before Beowulf is actually translated into something you can read. And the history of the English language, basically. So that's my master's. My thesis is on a novel called Other Women by Lisa Arthur. I probably wouldn't pick that now. Then I went back to university, actually, in Adelaide, which was 10 years after I left university the first time. And I did an honors course in English on Chaucer. And I also did almost a complete law degree. I didn't quite finish before we left. So I studied law as well. I was finished with all the subject courses. I just had sort of the practical application sort of stuff left. Essentialness, I think. I think if she knows, she is. It doesn't have to be overt to me. I don't know if I've ever defined that before. There's a certain thing underneath the surface all the time. She's a complete package. There's intelligence behind the eyes as well as a prettiness, but it doesn't have to be like a standard prettiness. It can be like a quirky prettiness or a classic prettiness. I'm not sure it matters. I don't know, it's like a little smolderingness, like you feel like there's something just underneath the surface all the time, maybe that they're not showing completely all the time. My favorite time of day is the morning, because that's when I'm most alert. When everyone has left the house, either I'm up before everyone else and it's deathly quiet, or when everyone has left the house and I'm left alone and I'm still alert. I like to be alert. I like feeling my mind is active and engaged and stimulated. But I also really like my afternoon nap. Yes, I do. I taught myself kind of to cook. My grandmother on my dad's side was a really, really good cook, and my dad's an excellent chef. But I never sort of took advantage of learning much from them. I've asked them questions here and there, but I basically taught myself to cook when I got married. I decided I was interested in that, and then I discovered I was sort of almost good at it. Sometimes I think I'm really good at it. It depends. There are certain things I'm good at and certain things I'm not. And I cook. I'm the cook in the house, basically. Okay, why don't I answer one of the questions in Norwegian? So, what is my favorite time of the day and why? Hva din favorittid på dagen og hvorfor? Jeg liker best tidlig morgen når jeg føler meg opplagt og har, spesielt når huset er tomt, eller hvis jeg står opp før alle andre har stått opp, så er det greit for meg å være for meg selv og føle meg opplagt og føle at hjernen er engasjert og stimulert. Det er sikkert det. Og så liker jeg veldig godt en ettermiddagslur. So I speak a Norwegian dialect that's from Bergen, which is very specific. It's to Bergen, which is on the west coast of Norway. If you were from Oslo, you would probably sound very different. I've always wondered if English-speaking people can hear the difference in the dialects. Yeah. I have a few that I've had over the years, but I think one I saw today, Paris is always a good idea. That was a great one. Yeah. I have many sort of poems that I've liked to quote through the years. One is from J. Alfred Prufrock. I grow old, shall wear my trousers rolled. I like that, just because it's so musical. That's a tough question, because I like a lot of music. I used to say that I liked any music, if you could envision the sound that music makes, the space that music sound is supposed to fill as a tunnel. I like any music that fills that whole tunnel. It doesn't like go through as a thin stream, which I don't know if that makes sense to anyone else. I grew up in my high school years being a huge fan of classic rock, Heart, Rush, band called Marillion, and Scorpions. As I went to college the first time, it sort of evolved into real sort of classic hippie rock. Fleetwood Mac, early Fleetwood Mac, Stevie Nicks, Neil Young, early Neil Young, we're talking. Pink Floyd, early U2. I still love that music, but it's not what I now sort of choose to listen to. And as I've evolved, I quite like popular music too. I mean, I like the charts. I don't tend to play it that often, but I like certain things. I sort of started listening a lot to what I would term dance music. I don't like calling it dubstep. I feel like that is way too narrow a term for all the kinds of dance music I like. A lot of people think of it as dubstep though. I for a while I was really into really heavy drum and bass, really grungy, dirty drum and bass. I like trance to a certain degree. I like chilled house music, some house music, like Cascade, Late Night Alumni, that sort of thing. And I like a country poppy sort of thing too. I also like a lot of alternative bands. Why don't I sort of read off what's in, like, on Spotify, I have sort of in my current starred list on Spotify, I have a billion tracks, so I'm not going to tell you all of them. Set Fire to the Rain with Adele, Good Feeling by Flo Rida, Blue Monday by New Order, Foster the People, I have quite a few of those in my playlist, Sade, Pretty Lights, Pendulum. I still love drum and bass. It's not like I've stopped liking drum and bass. Marillion's still in here. Magnetic Man, which is, Lily Allen. I love Lily Allen. Cascade, IO, How to Destroy Angels, Freestylers, Florence. I love Florence and the Machine. How come I haven't said that before? Florence and the Machine. Britney, Black Eyed Peas, Late Night Alumni. Tons of Late Night Alumni tracks in here. More Pendulum, Noel Gallagher, John Mayer, Powell, Katy Perry, Alice in Chains. I love grunge. I don't listen to it as much anymore, but I do still, to a certain degree, really love grunge. La Rue, Eminem, Röyksopp, electronica galore. And a lot of ambient dubstep remixed I really like. I like the Crystal Method a lot. So does that answer your question? Probably way more detail than you wanted me to. I have a love-hate relationship with grocery shopping. I hate having to go grocery shopping. I like going grocery shopping when it's to make some new dish or try something new in the kitchen, but I hate it when it's something I have to do all the time. Same with cooking, actually. I love cooking, but I hate making dinner every day. I think those are the only chores I sort of really hate. Like really hate. I have a cleaner, so that sort of helps things a lot. I'm passionate about ending prohibition of all kinds. I'm passionate about, I really am. Like I get riled up about it. I used to write massive long blog posts about it. I am passionate about civil liberties. I'm passionate about the ridiculous state of the American justice system, hugely tied up with prohibition of all kinds. I'm talking against drugs, against all sorts of stuff. I really am passionate about the state of the American justice system, not just the American one, but really, yeah. I'm passionate about makeup, just to say something completely on the other end, but I am passionate about it. I'm also passionate about literature, I would say. I am passionate about travel, very passionate about traveling. Yes, what a silly question. Of course I'm excited about Snap Post Vlog. It's something to do every day. It's something, it leaves me not adrift, you know? Yeah, it's exciting. We've been making some cool things. Here we go. A third culture kid is a person who has spent a significant part of his or her developmental years outside of their parents' culture. The third culture kid builds relationships to all the cultures while not having full ownership of any. Although elements from each culture are assimilated into the third culture kid's life experience, the sense of belonging is in relationship to others of the same background, in relationship to other third culture kids, not to belonging to either your parents' culture or the culture you grew up in. I think I have a billion cultures that I defined me, because I really sort of think of my defining years as my 2 years that I spent in California from when I was 10 to 12. My parents are Norwegian, you know that. And then I went to an American school in Scotland from all my high school years, living with my Norwegian parents and my sister, living in a Norwegian culture at home, but very much in an American culture at school. But I had very, very many Scottish friends outside of school. I was one of a few students at school who had relationships with Scots outside of the American world, of the expat sort of community of Americans there. So that's a whole huge topic, but I think if you're going to understand anything about me, it's that I am very much a third culture child turned into a third culture adult, you know, having moved around the world even after I got married. So I think it's easy to think of me as an American, but that's not how I define myself, and I don't really define myself as a pure Norwegian either. So yeah. The best place to find me is on Google Plus. gplus.to/Strumpet101, I think will do it. Should put it down here. And on Twitter, Strumpet101, Strumpet101@gmail.com. Yeah, and on my YouTube channel, Strumpet101. So yeah, those are easy places to get a hold of me. Yeah.